those who come to join us. Okay, so let's begin. If you feel that you might want to have a chair behind you and you might want to sit down during this, please feel free. We'll start our class off in the usual way, just with a gentle warm-up exercise. So it doesn't have to be the full-on warm-up. We can just drift through this very easily. Usual story, just gently turning from the waist, nice and easy. So the turning from the waist exercise and the forward bends, pretty self-indulgent, to be honest. You know, I like to get my back going first thing in the morning. It really suits me. And so that's why you have to endure it. But I think, you know, it suits me, it suits other people as well. So I find a gentle kind of rotation of the spine and then a stretch and bend, a lengthening of the spine really helps. But the other story behind it is that when you work on this level, you open up your palms and you let Lao Gung just gently tap on the side of your body, gently slap on the side of your body. When you stand in this shoulder width posture, you have your knees softly bent. And just by unlocking the knees, that improves the flow of qi coming up from the sole of the foot. So we have this idea that you can connect from Yong Quan on the sole of your foot all the way up to your belly. And you can connect from the palms of your hands all the way up to your shoulders and then down into your belly. But also when we stand here with this nice long spine, it's almost like putting the radar up, I don't know, opening the antenna or something like antenna on top of the head, point by way. You just open the top of the head and that kind of allows qi to pour down. So we have these two forces, earth and heaven, with man perfectly placed in the middle to gather qi. And in the old way of thinking, which is the more traditional Qigongs, it's earth qi moving upwards, heaven qi moving downwards, and nature qi all around you, kind of moving inwards. And I like that. It makes it feel like a nice balanced idea to me. When we get to Dr. Pang's style of thinking, Zheneng Qigong, he basically says that the whole of our universe is made of Hunyuan qi. And therefore, there's no real kind of up or down. I was reading about maps. Interesting for boys. I was reading about maps and they were sort of saying, you know, why does the north feature at the top of a map? And then you find that a lot of Chinese maps have the south as the top because the emperor was always placed in the top, looking down, as it were, looking down on his subjects. And so a lot of Chinese maps have the south. And then you sort of think to yourself, well, surely the north must be the top. But then this article was showing photographs from outer space. And the first photograph that NASA took of the Earth, and it was upside down as the way we imagined it. But of course, there is no upside down from space. You're just seeing what you're seeing. And so in order to make people feel better about the world, they turned the image upside down just to make us feel happier that, you know, it sat with our worldview of north and south. So quite clearly, as Dr. Pang moves away from yin and yang theory, he zooms out beyond yin and yang theory. He basically says, and it's not just earth below, heaven above, it's everything. Everything around you is qi. Everything around you is this qi called Hunyuan qi. And it's a massive field of undifferentiated qi that hasn't been acted upon, if you like, hasn't been used. But we are swimming through this vast porridge of qi. We live in it every day. Our bodies are formed from it. And so we are able to manipulate this qi using our consciousness. So to think that you're separate from anything is completely wrong. You are just a little qi human swimming through your qi porridge. And it's like being in a swimming pool and you're just kind of totally surrounded and enveloped. And the question of where does your body end and where does the qi begin is irrelevant because You are it, and it is you. And so often we can feel very separate from the world, but actually the reality is that we are deeply merged into this world. Okay, so let's just slow down a little bit and then just stretch out slightly further. If you're feeling dizzy, concentrate on the soles of your feet. Press your toes against the ground and experience each toe as you push. Think downwards, move your mind into your belly, move your mind into your toes, and then your body will start to balance. The chi follows the mind. So here's a principle for healing. It's called Yi Dao Qi Dao, where the mind goes, the chi follows. So this is the example of our consciousness leading our chi. So this is Hunyuan Qi that is being moved by our, well, it's called Yuan Ti in Chinese. Yuan Ti is essentially your consciousness. It's a bit more refined than that, but hey, let's just use it as that for the time being. So here's the example is that, you bang your knee and you instantly rub it and you stare at it and you kind of bring all of your attention to your knee to see what damage you've done, and then you think, oh, that's all right, and then you move away. But your intention has moved to the knee, and that has moved the chi to the site where you banged it, and the chi moves there, the blood follows. And so by using your intention, you've generated a healing process in your knee. Okay, so let's just park that idea of mind moving chi for a moment. Let's slow gently down. We'll pick it up after we've done our forward bends. Gathering chi from the earth, lift chi up. And then gently move this chi down through your body, deep into your belly. The chi home. And then you can relax the hands and allow the chi to flow on down to the ground. So we're drawing everything back to the chi home deep inside. So gather chi, lift chi up. Move this energy directly back through the upper dantian, through the middle one, and deep into the depths of your belly. And then relax and allow it to continue to flow down your legs back into the ground. How many times do you need to do that? So the question is, do you feel unstable? Do you feel wobbly? If so, keep going with this for a few more and see how you feel. But if you feel quite stable, normal, relaxed, that's fine. If you're someone who suffers from low blood pressure, this exercise can make your blood pressure go down, so just take it easy. Okay, so yeah, doing this 10 times is not a problem. You just do it as many times as suits you. It's not like a sort of badge of dishonor, if your chi starts moving, brilliant. Okay, let's do forward and back bends. Just drift your way gently down, sink, settle, and relax. Just see where your back's prepared to take you to today. No pressure, no tension, just let the whole thing relax, back of the neck relaxed. Okay, so in this posture here, we're just going to extend gently towards our toes. And then we can release that bend. Just imagine a line that's been drawn between the roots of your toes. Stretch gently towards that line. And release. Imagine a line that's been drawn between your insteps. So we're just gradually getting a little bit deeper with each bend. And release. And then hands back to the heels. Go as deep as you wish. Relax and release, let the body hang. Okay, so move your tailbone to point up into the blue sky behind you. Gently push your tailbone to the front of the body. Let the spine slowly build up. Arms and ears travel upwards together. We draw ourselves slowly up to full height. Good long stretch. Okay, let your knees and hips go forward and you can lean back. Gently stretch up. Gently lean back. Up and back. Up and gently back. Hands up into blue sky, nice long stretch. Tip over the head, the arms, the ears. Curl into the upper body, the middle body, middle back, lower back. Send your weight gently down towards the floor. Keep the knees soft still, relax the back of your neck. Gentle, easy breathing as you hang here. First extension down towards the toes. And then release in line with the roots of your toes. Release in line with your insteps. And release in line with your heels. Let the body hang, let the body relax. Gentle, easy breathing. Tailbone lifts up behind. Push tailbone to the front and curl the spine up. Allow the head, arms, and ears to roll gently up. Slowly coming up to full height, decent stretch into the blue sky. Knees and hips go forward, you lean back. Stretching up, gently back. Up and back. Up and back. Up into the blue sky, stretch nice and long. And then we're just going to straighten the legs and tip over. So try and do these with your legs straight if you can, just to give the hamstrings an extra little stretch out. Slowly work your way down. Let the body just hang and relax. Back of the neck relaxes, legs stay straight, tummy tucks in a little bit. Gently extend towards the toes. And release. Roots of the toes. And release. Towards the insteps. And release. And then back towards your heels. Nice deep bend. Body hangs and relaxes. Tailbone lifts behind. Push the tailbone gently to the front. Curl the spine up. Head, arms, and ears gently draw up. Bring yourself up to full height. Good long stretch. Release knees and head forward as you lean back. Stretching up. Gently back. Up and back. Up and gently back. Okay, great. Last time through. Nice long, tall body. Legs stay straight. Tip over head, arms and ears. Curling gently down. Let the whole body relax and hang. Extending softly towards the toes. And release. In line with the roots of your toes. And release. Heading back towards your insteps. And release. Gently working back towards your heels in a nice deep bend. Release, relax, body hangs. Tailbone lifts behind. Tailbone softly pushes to the front of the spine, comes up. Head, arms, and ears gently gather up. Draw up slowly up into the blue sky. Drawing the hands over the crown of the head. Let's gently lean back. And up. Gently back. And up. Gently back. And up. And one more time, gently back. And up. Okay, great. So just draw the hands over the crown of the head. Allow the chi to pour. Release the hands down by your sides. Let's just draw chi a few times. So we're just gathering the energy. Gently pouring it through the body. locating the chi deep inside your belly, connecting down. A couple more times. Drawing the chi deep inside. Locating the chi deep in the belly. If you finish pulling down, you can just let your hands settle on your tummy. If you need to do a few more, that's no problem. You can just catch up. As we stand here, the knees are softly bent. Tailbone tucks forward a tiny bit. Hui Yin between your legs lifts up a tiny bit. Ming Men deep inside your belly, heads towards the back, and you sit down. Spine nice and long. Chin gently drawing back. Top of the head lifts. Have this nice long spine, tailbone sitting down, top of the head lifting up. That opens up this flow of chi up and down the spine. Let's stand here for a moment or two. Let your body settle. So back to this story about you swimming through your soup of Hunyuan Chi. The idea that Idao Chidao, the mind, moves the chi. Better than that, the consciousness moves the chi. But then we have this story that only 95%, sorry, other way around, that 5% of what we can actually hear in our head, what we're actually conscious of, the other 95% is just subconscious. So what on earth is your subconscious doing today? Well, we know that thoughts in the brain can kick off chemical reactions in the body. Think of someone saying to you, "Oh, you're looking so beautiful today," and you blush, and then suddenly you feel the warmth on your skin, you feel the blood rising to the surface of your cheeks. A thought has set off a chemical reaction. You get a shock and your body shivers, trembles. Some surprise has set off a chemical reaction in your body. What else is your mind doing in the background that's setting off chemical cascades that pour through your body? So your emotions are signposts to where the problems lie. What's disturbing you today? So I'll just tell you for a moment about one of my lovely students, Simon, we were talking about meditation, and sometimes he said, "Oh, sometimes I find myself really struggling to meditate. You know, and I'm sitting there for 20 minutes trying to calm things down and just trying to stay quiet." And he said, sometimes when the thoughts pop up, I just kind of pigeonhole them. And so I tried doing it for a while. Thoughts popping up. I discovered that what I started to call the planning department was quite active. The planning department was constantly saying, "So now what are we going to do about this? Where are we going to do? Why, when will we do that?" And these thoughts pop up in the head. And so rather than actually attaching to them, I was just thinking, "Oh, okay, another planning thought, pigeonhole that." And by the time I'd gone through a list of thoughts, I found that they only came from 2 or 3 real places. They could seem incredibly different. The variety that your brain can turn up is astonishing. But the reality was that they only came from 2 or 3 places. So very often we find that our thoughts come from sex, money, family, places like that. And so it's interesting to track those areas down. Shame. My poor dad, he became a kind of like focal point for a lot of it. And obviously we often have mum and dad things in our lives, unresolved stories around them. But I found that my dad had become the placeholder for a whole load of other ideas that would pop out. He became sort of placeholder for all of society, unfortunately. Bad drivers and bad prime ministers and whatever it might be. And it all seemed to come from my dad being cross, me having taken on his attitudes. And so I had to do a lot of healing work with that. A lot of you know I love Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so I worked for a long time around those ideas. They quietened down. When that pattern starts to get quieter, starts to dissolve, when you see it for what it is, then suddenly it doesn't pop up so much anymore, and things start to change in your life. So when you have quiet moments, sit there and search for the root cause of those thoughts. I often use a gardening analogy. I think about my little plot outside. There's a raspberry bed. But oh boy, there's all sorts of interesting things that grow in there as well. So I have to go in and find the root of those other things, work my way around the things that I need, and find the things that I don't want, and dig deep to the root of them. And I've got this fantastic extractor tool you can put right into the bottom of a dandelion or something like that. You lift out the whole root of the dandelion. So there's something important to be thought about that as well. All of my weeds, they go onto a compost pile. Nothing gets wasted. So the things that trouble you have a reason for being there. It's not like they're just there for no reason at all. So sometimes it's useful for you just to recognize something and thank it. So it's there in Ho'opono. Ho'oponopono is there, second line. Thank you. It's about realizing that everything has had a use and a reason somewhere in your life. It's about realizing that every cloud has a silver lining. So when you unroot something deep from your psyche, just understand that it's also been helping as well as hindering. Take the good learning from it and then allow it to be composted, allow it to be recycled, reused. Let it gently go, dissolve it into qi. Let it go back into the undifferentiated Hunyuan qi layer of the universe. So when you're feeling emotions, stop, sit, ask where they came from, search them down to the root. Eventually, dig that root out and discover that a whole range of emotions change. That a whole plethora of things in your life come from the same place. A few basic root causes. And just to say, death underlies all of them. The fear of death underlies all of these things. Just let that settle for a moment. So not having enough money, will that ultimately lead to death? not having a house, not having a partner, not having whatever it is, a parent to support you. Ultimately, at some irrational level, the fear of what might happen to your mortality comes into play. If you know your Chinese medicine, that erodes the health of your kidneys on an energetic level. So I'm always entreating you to look after your kidneys, keep them warm, massage your kidneys. But when we build up qi now, like we're doing in lower dantian, your hands have been sitting on your belly for a while, and the qi will naturally gather deep in the center of you. Just filling lower dantian supports the kidneys. But at some stage, look death in the face. If you think to yourself, when I die, it's all over, I'm gone, then that seems like a really scary idea. The truth is that you are the consciousness of the whole universe. The same consciousness inside me is inside you. The same consciousness that constructs everything in our lives and our world. You are God, and so am I. You just don't know it. When you start to discover yourself on a truly universal basis, then death means nothing. Finally, you can live your life fully because the weight of that's taken off you. Let the fear of that subside. Let it have no control over you. So when you're feeling truly alive, your body will spontaneously heal. At some deep level, the fear keeps your body from changing, holds on to the emotions, holds on to the problems. So if you can find a way to move through that, to change your belief systems, and very often those belief systems are implanted when we're very little. They're implanted by churches and schools and sometimes families, and they sit very deep inside us. When you're gone, and that kind of stuff. When you're gone, you're gone. You were never here. You've always been consciousness, forever. In a way, it lends an idea to reincarnation, doesn't it? That you come back again and come back again, but it's the same consciousness, universal consciousness, just moving Hunyuan Qi. So if you have something in your body today you don't want, like a tumor, we just dissolve it so easily and turn it back into the background. If you've had something removed from your body, like a sort of an organ taken out or cut or whatever it might be, then you can just bring that back because it's all just qi. If you have a deep-seated emotional crisis, dissolve it back into qi. If you're God, you can do anything. But if you believe the story that you're just little me stuck inside this non-functioning body or badly functioning body, then of course it seems impossible. But it's just that you've been lied to. We draw the world over our eyes, and suddenly we're blinded to the truth of who we really are. You are God, and so am I. Imagine that. So now, access that true power deep inside you. Use your consciousness to melt away problems in your body. Use your consciousness to dissolve emotional problems. Use your consciousness to rebuild whatever it is you need to rebuild. And that could be emotional, physical. Rebuild your spiritual connection to yourself. So Dr. Pang often says Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing that you cannot change. There is nothing that you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing that you are unable to bring about. Just think about that. There is nothing that you are unable to bring about. That is a deep universal truth. Wu Wu Bu Sui. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Just think about that. Okay. Just let the hands gently down by your sides. We just bring our feet together into the Qigong posture. We're just going to gather some qi. So just turn the palms to face towards the back. Bring the wrists up to 90 degrees. Softly push your hands forward and feel your connection. Draw back and allow the qi to come into your body. So we're just moving very gently, gently forwards, gently backwards, feeling this incredible connection outwards, drawing qi back in. Let the hands relax, little fingers penetrate the earth. We gather a ball of qi up. We hold this ball of qi in front of lower dantian. Allow the qi to flow deep inside. Nourish this lower dantian for you. Turn the palms to face down. Gather the hands. Swim through this field of qi, through this pool of qi, and then draw your hands to the back and send the qi deep inside. Draw qi up to Da Bao and send it deep inside once more. Feel the middle dantian abundant with energy. Elbows go back. Hands release forwards. Expand out into the blue sky. Gather qi. Allow this qi to flow from your fingers deep inside your brain. Opening the elbows, opening the wrists, expanding the body out. Let your body dissolve out into the qi field. Palms face down. Little scoop of the hands. Lift qi up. Gently draw the hands up over the crown of your head. Extend. Your spine extend. Hands drift down over the crown of the head. Down in front of the face. And down in front of the heart. Connect your hands deep inside your heart. Feel your heart. Just make a little ball with your hands. Fingertips touch ever so lightly. Little space between the fingers. And we just let this ball settle over the belly button. Step on qi, so you put your weight on the heels, open toes to 90 degrees, weight on the toes, bring the heels out to parallel, so that we can just come into a shoulder width posture. Sink into your knees and your whole body relax. So this little ball of qi can sit where it is on your tummy. It can open out a little bit. You have to discover what your body can support. So sometimes if you leave the hands on the belly, that's best. If you open them out, sometimes after a while, the hands start to sag down. And then you just know that you haven't really got enough qi yet to support the bigger postures. Sometimes your hands float up in front of middle dantian. Whatever suits you is fine today. And don't hesitate to change if you wish to. Static Qigong is not as static as it sounds. It has these wonderful names like standing like a post. One of the translations, the better translations, is standing like a tree. Even the biggest trees gently move in the breeze. If you need to adjust anything, you just gently adjust. Body relaxes, mind expands. Feel the connection from the feet deep into the earth. From the heavens, chi gently flowing down to your body. Sometimes you have to move your feet. Sometimes you have to readjust your back or your shoulders. Sometimes you move your hands. There are little micro adjustments that go on just to get you into the right posture, a posture that you can sustain. Allow your breathing to soften and be free. Release your belly. We tend to hold lots of tension in our tummies. It's unfashionable to have a tummy, but just release your tummy today. Breathing gently into the depths of your tummy. Perhaps you're someone who holds tension in your gut. Very often we find in Qigong terms that the diaphragm has become really, really inflexible. The breathing is all in the upper chest, almost like sort of panting, short breaths in the upper chest. That's why we try and employ the belly, just to gently move the belly forwards to get a really good deep breath in. Just breathe out so naturally and softly. Nice and easy breaths. Gentle relaxation. So where's your mind at? Has it wandered off? Is it in aisle number 9 of Sainsbury's? Whenever your mind gently draws away, there's no point in being cross about it. You just softly bring it back. Nice, gentle breath is often the way to do that. Just from the tip of the nose, imagine chi flowing in from the tip of the nose along the length of your nose, and just I extend it right into the center of my brain. So when I take in this breath, I just imagine illuminating the center of my brain, straight along the nostrils and up into the core of you. Imagining the center of the brain glowing, and then as you breathe out, that chi just flows through the whole body, but especially deep down into the belly. So you draw from the outside, bringing yourself back into your center. As you breathe the breath out, it draws back deep down into the belly, bringing the mind home into the chi home deep inside your belly. So if you lose your place, just take a few breaths to reset. Just bring your attention to your palms for a moment, wherever they are. Just imagine Lao Gong open on the center of your palm. The chi gateway, bright, open, allowing chi to flow. You can just imagine when you breathe in that this chi comes up the center of your arm, all the way up to your shoulder. So on top of the shoulder, there's this brilliant point called Jianjing. It's called the shoulder well. It's a kind of gathering point for chi. If you imagine the center of your spine and the very outside tip of your shoulder blade or your shoulder, and then you join that and cut that in half. And that's exactly halfway along the top of your shoulder. There's a lovely point there called Jianjing, the shoulder well. And so that connects downwards, I think, through middle dantian into the lower dantian, Jianjing flowing down. So you can take this breath and allow chi to flow all the way up your arm. through Jianjing and deep into your belly. Let's gather the qi through this gateway. Gentle breath. Allowing the qi to settle deep in your dantian. Now for me, that's a whole breath. I like to imagine drawing the qi up to the shoulders, and as I breathe out, the qi cascades down into lower dantian. But also, it can be one breath that just draws straight in from the palm of the hand, all the way to the dantian. And when you breathe out, you just breathe out naturally. There's no method for breathing out, no pathway. So let's just think about this single breath that comes from the hands and goes deep into the belly. Just allow the breath to come in and flow all the way to the pit of your belly as you breathe out. Body is just relaxed. Follow that pathway a few more times, gently breathing up to the shoulders, down to the belly. As you breathe out, just gently relax. 2 more breaths like that, drawing from the hands to the belly. And then nice, gentle, easy breathing. So Yongquan on the sole of your foot. You can imagine breathing in through the sole of the foot, through the center of your foot, through the center of your ankle, center of your calf, center of your knee, center of your thigh. Comes all the way up to Hoi Yin between your legs, and then lifts up from Hoi Yin up into your belly. So we can enliven the 2 channels through our legs. So breathe up from Yongquan through Hoi Yin to your belly. And breathe out naturally. Imagine the qi drawing up as you breathe in. Centering deep in the lower dantian. Gathering qi as you breathe deep. A couple of more breaths in through Yongquan on the sole of the foot. Up the center of the legs, all the way up to the belly. And the last time, gently breathing in. And feeling the qi deep inside your belly. So let's look at the last channel. The last channel comes from Bai Hui on the crown of your head. It goes straight down the center line, all the way to Hoi Yin between your legs. So Hoi Yin is gently lifting up and drawing qi upwards into the belly. And then Bai Hui on top of the head is drawing qi down through the 2 other dantians deep into the belly. And the whole kind of central line system from Hoi Yin to Bai Hui, from Bai Hui down to Hoi Yin, is one central channel. It's called your Tai Yi Po. I think that means the ridge pole. And if you'd spent your thousands of years living in a tent, you'd know how important the ridge pole is to hold everything up. And so the ridge pole goes through the center of your body. 3 dantians studded along its pathway. So we breathe in through the top of the head. We draw the qi through upper dantian. We draw the qi through middle dantian. We locate it deep in lower dantian. So gently breathe that passage for a few moments. Breathing in through Bai Hui. Qi moves deep into the belly. Breathing out naturally. Bai Hui open, gathering qi. Qi flowing down to the belly. 2 or 3 more times. Feel that deep in your lower dantian, gathering. Now let's breathe all 5 channels simultaneously. Through the feet, through the hands, through the head, deep into the belly. Qi gathering deep in the core of you, and you just breathe out naturally. Breathe in. Qi gathers deep in the core. Just a couple more breaths like that. Gentle, easy breathing. So you don't have to be thinking about breathing in this fashion. Your body will automatically do it for you. We can set the flow off and allow this amazing qi to start to gather deep inside the belly. Lower dantian qi, when it's abundant, it supports your whole life function. Everything driven by lower dantian. Let the hands settle on lower dantian for a moment. Easy breathing in the core of you. Nothing matters. Nothing is real. The only question is, why have you made this simulation so complicated for yourself? Time to simplify. You've become such an expert at playing the game at such high speed so quickly. Getting on top, being a winner. But actually, we need to just choke it back a little bit. Calm it down. Stay inside. Heal the inside. Heal your inside world. And then the outside world takes care of itself. When you breathe deep into your lower dantian, you bring yourself back to yourself. You bring the qi back to the qi home. It's like dropping the pebble gently into the center of the pond, and the ripples slowly move out sideways. Change yourself. Change your life. Look, it's just a game. You're player number 1. You are God. So just let the game change. Don't hold on so tight. Soften your grip and allow everything to flow. Space. Make space in your life. When we open up a bit of space, then everything can start to flow. When we control and restrict and constrict, nothing moves. We become very insecure with our lives. And the safest thing seems to be to try to tack everything down, stop everything from moving, keep everything held in place, control everything you can. that suddenly we've stopped the flow of qi. Suddenly, nothing's moving anymore. You might hit a kind of stasis, but that's really stagnation. Allow things to flow. Trust. Trust that you are doing the right thing for your player in the game, for your simulation of you. Because the truth is that nothing really matters. So you might as well enjoy it. It all seems terribly important when you're stuck in it. When you step back from it and just see it for what it is, just consciousness experimenting through you, just consciousness building its kind of data bank of how things work, how relationships work, how emotions work. When you realize that it doesn't matter, then you can live your life as happily and as fully as you need to. You can be as healthy, wealthy, and wise as you want to be. Trust. Trust yourself. Let's just think about an illness, a pattern, a problem relationship, a problem appointment, a problem past happening. Because, hey, no time, no space. If your life is being ruled by some terrible thing that happened to you in the past, dissolve it. If you have something in your body you don't want, dissolve it. Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing you cannot bring about. Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing that cannot be changed. Wu Wu Bu Sui. Nothing you cannot break down. But also, when you think of nothing you cannot break down, there's nothing you cannot rebuild as well. So let's just work with that. Do a little bit of La Qi now. You can hold a ball of qi and gently open and close it if you wish. You could have your hands on your belly and just think about opening and closing. You might want to open and close your entire body. There's no right or wrong with La Qi. Just find something that suits you. You can say Kai He along with me, or you can just be silent, whatever you like. Think upon the problem we're just going to dissolve, or think upon the future we're going to create. Think upon, yeah, you get it. Gently create space as you open. Draw back the perfect reality. We've set our intention in place now. So no longer thinking about the illness or the problem, just letting the whole thing gently dissolve. Just bringing back the resources to heal and change. So if you're working with your liver, don't think about a problem liver, just think about a liver. Let it just gently dissolve. And then you would bring back the perfect working liver. Think about an emotional time. We don't keep thinking about it. We just let it go. Perhaps it's just as simple as bringing back sunshine into your life. We don't need to be too prescriptive or detailed anymore, just general. Kai opens, makes space, dissolves. Attracts back all the healing you need. Just a couple more. Next two could be a little bit quieter. Last two, just movement, no sound. Eventually, slowly gather your hands back onto your belly, drawing chi deep inside. Allow this chi to flow through your body, finding its way to healing the emotions, the chemical imbalances, the old patterns that used to rule your life, the physical illnesses. Everything changes. Everything responds to this. Everything heals. Trust that you have the power to make everything heal. Just gently step out of the way. Release control and allow your body to heal at the deepest level of you. All functions of your body returning to perfect working order. Okay. So we can just gently bring our hands back into the prayer position in front of our chests. Extend the hands up, up into the blue sky. Open up little fingers, ring fingers, middle fingers, and let the hands descend down gently to shoulder height, already scooping chi round to the front, sending this energy deep inside. Illuminate your brain with chi. Feel that every process can be regenerated. All functions of your brain working really well. Draw the elbows back and allow the hands to drift under the arms to lightly touch Da Bao. Send chi into this middle dantian. We fill middle energy field with qi. It supports lungs, heart, spleen, pancreas on the left, liver on the right, kidneys round the back, but all the associated organs as well, by which I mean bladder, gallbladder, small intestine, large intestine, the pericardium around your heart. All of the associated organs are supported by middle dantian too, but also all the acupuncture channels that run through these organs around your body. So by supporting middle dantian, all of the functions of your body start to return to perfect working order. We drift the hands back behind, and then the back of the hands start to move forwards. When they're in line with the side of the body, turn them over with a flourish. Send a wave of qi out into the blue sky, and then gently draw that qi back. Just left hand over right for men, other way for ladies, but actually whatever suits you today. And then you just draw this qi ball deep inside, compressing it, holding it deep in the lower dantian. Feeling this incredible power deep inside your belly. Lower dantian qi is abundant. Blood and qi flowing well in every aspect of your body. Let the qi sweep up your spine to your brain. Fill your brain, your neck and your shoulders, all the way down your arms to your fingertips. All of your spine to your tailbone, into your hips and pelvis, down your legs, into your knees, calves, ankles, feet, to the tips of your toes, to the tips of your fingers, top of your head, the whole of the trunk of your body, all of the organs deep inside, into the DNA, every cell filled with qi. Every cell receives the message about what you wish it to do. It's not just working subconsciously anymore, following some program that you didn't even know existed. Now, your body is doing exactly every cell what you wish it to do. Total healing, whole body, every level, mind, body, spirit, healing, deep, deep inside. Gently move the hands around the lower dantian. 3 circles round, just draws any excess qi into the belly. And then we can send 3 circles the other way. And that just sends a message to the body. Time to close down, time to hold all this qi inside, time to reset the body for daily mode. So we just bring ourselves back to ourselves. Let me just stand here for a moment. You can imagine yourself standing in your Wei Qi layer. It's a sort of layer of qi around your skin, 2 or 3 inches of amazing, strong qi. Keeps away bacteria, viruses, of course. Keeps away any sort of negative emotions you don't need in your life. And then beyond that, your qi field, your own personal qi field, maybe 1 meter or 2 around your body, above and below, especially behind. We often forget the back. So this wonderful field of qi around you, protecting you, but connecting you too. Feel connected today. Okay. We just let our hands gently down by sides. Slowly open our eyes. Put a big smile on our faces. Wiggle our fingers. Move our toes. Stretch out anything that needs stretching out. And then we need to say how loud together. Oh, so we'll say Hala 3 times. If you guys would like to unmute yourselves, then we shall declare Hala vigorously, as in everything is good already, everything is already sorted. Wonderful. Okay, so hands up. 1, 2. Ha. 1, 2. Ha. Last time. 1, 2. Ha. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much, everyone. Really nice to have you guys here.